Welcome back to Namely 90s Minute. Every week we look back at a culturally relevant show, movie, or piece of pop culture that probably helps stoke the algorithm. This week, in honor of Axel F on Netflix, we're looking back at the last failed reboot of the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, Beverly Hills Cop 3. Beverly Hills Cop 3 is a 1994 action comedy film starring Dr. Dolittle, Brad Hamilton from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Philip Waters from Chicago Hope, Wilbur Post from Mr. Ed, with cameos from the singer of Take Me to the River, Wanda from Good Times, and the creator of Star Wars. The story starts in Detroit with Beverly Hills Cop attempting to bust a car theft ring gone wrong, which results in the death of a superior officer, which BHC takes personally, especially after being stopped by Secret Service telling him there's a larger scheme at work. BHC finds a bunch of clues that leads him back to a Disneyland knockoff in Beverly Hills, so he flies out there and reunites with Billy Rosewood, who has been promoted to Deputy Director of Operations for Joint System Interdepartmental Operational Command, and his new partner John Flint, who calls the head of Park Security at Not Disneyland to let them know that BHC is headed there to investigate. While investigating, he gets shot at and has hand-to-hand combat with Park Security, and then has to save some kids from a Ferris wheel when the Park Security shoots at it. He's then apprehended by the Park Security head and recognizes him as the man who killed his superior back in Detroit. Later, BHC is met by the park's owner and a park employee/love interest who tells him about a missing park designer who left only a cryptic message. After that, BHC attends a private Law Enforcement of the Year award ceremony, because that's a thing in this hack movie, where the bad guy is getting the award and BHC pulls a Kanye and tries to goad him into giving away his nefarious ways, but it is unsuccessful. Later, BHC discovers that in a sectioned off part of the park, the bad guys are counterfeiting money, and the chop shop incident in Detroit was used to get mint paper for it. The park owner gets shot and BHC is framed for it, but BHC takes the owner to the hospital and then decides to storm the park to clear his name, killing many armed park security, who I guess were also evil counterfeiters, and eventually kills the guy who killed his friend. The other bad guy was working with one of the government agents and gets killed by him, and then shoots and kills him after the bad agent does a villain monologue and they have a brief struggle. The movie ends with BHC getting a character named after him at the park, where he murdered multiple people, and starts a relationship with that park employee love interest from earlier. And that's Beverly Hills Cop 3 in a Namely 90s Minute. More or less. Join us again next Tuesday for another Namely 90s Minute. Please remember you can always hear these a day early in full episodes of Namely 90s on all major podcasting platforms. And most of the small ones too. Please subscribe and do all the other YouTube things. Bell ringing, share like a scribes, that sort of stuff, and we'll catch you next time.